everybody, and welcome back to Hakuoki. We gotta choose who we're going with. And I'm gonna go to Mount Tenno because we're trying to stick with Hijikata, right? We're trying to touch the Hijikata booty, so we gotta follow him around like a lost puppy. There was no question. I would go with Hijikata and chase after the Ronin heading for Mount Tenno. Despite Fushimi being quite a distance away, soldiers moved at a rapid pace. It was hard for me to keep up, and I was beginning to run short of breath when I saw someone. Hello? He was standing in front of us, shadows obscuring his face and clothes, cloaked in a strange aura. He looks cool. Hijikata seemed to sense it too, and he motioned for the men to halt. The Shinsengumi stopped, save for one man who was either too excited or too foolish to heed the commander. Wow. Yeah. I saw a momentary flash of steel as the man yelped. Hey, what the hell is this? You okay? The man just lay there, unresponsive. I could see thick red blood already beginning to pool around him. Taken aback at first by the sudden attack, the men all turned now to glare at the stranger. His voice is much deeper than I expected it to be. Ah, judging by those jackets, you're Shinsengumi. Heh, acting like you're the 47 Ronin, huh? Boorish as always. They were already on edge, but the man's words only made the men more agitated. I'd heard from the men that they had their reasons for wearing their uniforms. They wanted desperately to pay the strange man back for his taunts and for attacking their brother, but they knew now was no time for revenge. This speech. First you got in my way at Ikeda, and now you're all trying to play the good guy around here. So, the peasants still haven't had their fill of defeat yet. Excuse me, you aren't even samurai, are you? I'd turn back if I were you, unless you like the thought of coughing up blood like your friend over here. As he spoke, I felt the air begin to thicken with the rage of the Shinsengumi. You're the swordsman from Ikeda that beat Soji? I heard you were quite a swordsman, but those are pretty big words from such a little man. Hijikata's smile was anything but warm. I had heard you were talented for peasants, but this sorry display tells me it was all for show. He laughed at the sight of the men he had just slain, the man. That man from the inn, Okita, was it? Far too weak to be considered a real swordsman. Hijikata's teeth were now almost completely bared. I knew Okita wasn't weak at all, and I wanted to tell him so, but it was true that he had been injured. Insult Soji all you want, but how about you tell us why you killed this man first? I heard the soft hiss of Nagakura's sword sliding from its scabbard. At his feet lay the man who'd been attacked, his face now odd, pale color. I wept for his spirit. If I don't like what I hear, then I'm gonna kill you, right here.
武士の誇りも知らず、手柄を得ることしか頭にない幕府の犬だが。
To defend your warrior's pride? The shogun says jump and you say how high.
敗北をし、戦場を去った連中を何のために追い立てようというのだ。
Why are you pursuing men who've lost and fled the battlefield?
腹を切る時間と場所を求め天王山を目指して長州侍の誇りを何故に理解できぬ。
Don't you know they've already fled from Mount Tenno to take their own lives? What? Was he telling the truth? Did the Choshu men commit honorable suicide? I looked over at Hijikata and the rest of his men, but not one of them looked surprised. The man in front of us was trying to stop the Shinsengumi in an attempt to protect the pride of the Choshu samurai, which is what had upset him. From his point of view, I could see why he felt right in what he was doing, but they gave him no right to kill someone just to prove a point. Is it really all right to take a man's life for the sake of someone else's pride? Only you can protect your own pride. Letting others control the value of something important to you will only hurt you later on. How can someone keep their pride? They expect someone else to fight for it. Your sentiment has some truth to it. Are you saying I should simply allow the Shinsengumi to pilfer any pride that Choshu have left, just to gain merit from arresting them? It did not sound amused. No, that's not really what I meant, but... Under that crimson glare, my voice trailed off. Pathetic. I thought you were trying to make some kind of point, stranger. But you're just whining like a petulant child. This is war, you idiot. What? The man spoke through clenched teeth, and the knuckles of his sword hand turned white. They started a pointless fight, didn't have the balls to see it through, and then ran away with their tails tucked. These cowards don't deserve honor. They're all spineless traitors. You think a man like that deserves an honorable death? They'll die with their goddamn guts and heads in the dirt. You mean to say they should have been prepared to die for their cause when they went to war? Kind of. Any man who starts a fight he isn't willing to die for doesn't know what it means to be a warrior. Let's say they do have some scrap of pride left. Wouldn't dying in battle be better than dying on your own sword? Ichikata's own concepts of pride and honor was not something he could easily compromise. No matter how long he and the stranger spoke, I also knew that they would never see eye to eye. Hijikata drew his sword from his scabbard, and I saw Nagakura drop into a fighting stance. Hijikata's eyes narrowed, and after muttering something angry under his breath, Nagakura stepped back and put his blade back in its sheath. You don't look like a coward to me, so I figure you're ready to finish what you started when you killed one of my men. Big words from a small man. Do you honestly believe you can defeat me? In an instant, their swords met, and the clang of metal reverberated through the mid-afternoon air. Ooh. They sprang apart, eyes fixed on one another, and I saw Hijikata's hand tighten on his sword. The commander's swordsmanship seemed without a true rival, but this man had defeated Okita. This is like our first actual fight, isn't it? No, there was that one in the very, very beginning. But it was kind of one-sided. I saw Nagakura reach for his own sword. He was to leap into the fight as well, probably hoping to help Hijikata gain the upper hand. When I saw him about to pounce, I couldn't help but scream. Well, I feel like having him help, based on my knowledge of, I don't know how to word this, Japanese morals, maybe? I don't know. I feel like it'd be, I feel like it would be really bad to let him fight as well. I don't know. But maybe I'm just an asshole and don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Should just shut my mouth. Probably, you know. I pulled my headphones out of my ears. Shit. Oof. I'm going to stop him because I think he would A, just get in the way, and B, it would just make Hijikata really mad. No, Nagakura, you can't! This fight wasn't why the Shinsengumi came here. Hijikata's troop's mission was to follow Choshu rebels to Mount Tenno. There could be no doubt that the strange swordsman was an enemy, and a dangerous one. We might have needed our whole force to defeat him. Hijikata, however, would never let us abandon our mission out of fear of losing, especially after his speech. Nagakura could see this mysterious man was quite powerful, and after a few moments spent grinding his teeth, he took his hand off his sword.
Hijikata-san yo, この部隊の指揮権限、今だけ俺が預かっておくぜ。
Hey, Hijikata, I'm gonna take your guys for a bit if that's alright with you.
言うじゃねえか。
Don't
任せたぜ、
distract
新
him.
八。
Heh, big mouth over here. They're yours, Shinpachi. The commander's eyes followed the swordsman, and his mouth curled into a predatory grin.
よし、いいかお前ら。今から天王山目指して全力疾走再開だ。
I feel like it was the right thing to do, but also I feel like if I was trying to romance him, Hijikata, I mean, I should have chosen the other thing. Listen up, guys. We're gonna run straight for Mount Tenno. No stopping. The soldiers roared their assent.
貴様ら。
Damn you.
おい、よそ見してんじゃねえよ。真剣勝負って言葉の意味も知らねえのか。
What is this? What is this dangling piece of cloth over here on Hijikata's sword? Like, what is that? I don't understand. Is it coming off of his sword? Pay attention. I'll put a sword through your back as easily as your front. It's kind of funny. Hijikata was in a fighting stance and put himself between the troops and the man to avoid escape.
邪魔をするな。
Don't get in my way. He swung his sword and Hijikata received it and was thrown back.
なんてバカ力だ。
Damn, that was an intense swing. Whoops. Get out of here, you. Get out. Since there was a distance between Hijikata and itself, the man turned towards Nagakura. I hold my place. Or keep running. Oh boy. Now this... I feel like somebody's gonna die if I pick the wrong one. Hold my place or keep running. Isn't it... I don't know why you would stop, but I feel like because that's the odd reaction that I want to pick it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why you would stop running. It's kind of important for you to go, so I want to know why you would stop running. So picking that choice would obviously let me know why you would stop running. I'm gonna find out. Let's find out. Hopefully I don't kill us. Wait, let's... Hang on, let's... How do you... I? Yep. We're gonna save. Alright. Hold my place. My knees locked up, so I drew my kodachi out of defense. My swordsmanship won't be useful in battle, but I may be able to buy everyone some time. I laid my hand on the handle of my sword. Next thing I knew... See, look at her face, though. She isn't masculine looking at all. She just looks like a girl in pants. Next thing I knew, a high-pitched clang of metal clashed resoundingly, and I was on the floor. I was blindsided by the hit, and when my eyes were back into focus, I saw his blade pointed towards me, and blood trickled down my face. I commend your courage, kid. Huh. That kodachi. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Excited. Hey, do you realize what is happening? The wound on your face is already starting to heal. Huh? This is... It's just such a weird reaction. I slapped my cheek with my hand, but the cut had sealed. The pain ceased, but the blood stopped flowing. What? Why would you put a butt in there? It's a weird... That's not a place for a butt. Okay, sorry. I'm a mature adult. His crimson eyes widened. Oh? A demon? What? What is this game? What is happening? Who would have thought I'd meet another one of us here? And a female demon, no less. Tell me, girl, what is your name? And how did you come across this kodachi? Before I could answer, a dull clang of metal rang above us as Hijikata swung his sword from behind while the man parried it in front of me. Get away from the kid! You bastard. Stay out of my way. I'm the one you're fighting. How young is Chizuru? I'm concerned now because he keeps calling her a kid. And when I think about it, I'm like, okay, she's, probably not older than 20, but not like 12 or 14 even. Yeah, I would call a 14-year-old a kid. I'm not sure I would call a 16-year-old a kid. Not based on the 16-year-olds I personally know, but they were mature 16-year-olds. Hat. Did I read this already? I don't know, so I'm gonna read it again. Or are you telling me you'd use your sword on kids? Didn't take you for a bully. How dare you shogunate bitch. Yukimura, go on ahead. Okay. Suddenly I was jolted with urgency, and I started to dash away. Hijikata was right behind me, but I don't think he saw the cut on my face. It'll be alright, I'm sure of it. Demon, one of us. Everything he said rattled inside my head, but all I could do was run straight for Mount Tenno and never look back. It's almost nighttime. I was waiting at the base of Mount Tenno. Nagakura led some men further up looking for the Choshu rebels, but a few were left at the bottom in case other Choshu forces returned. I'd stayed with them. It'll be alright. They'll be back soon, I'm sure of it. I know, but... Is Hijikata safe? He must be. No sooner were the words out of my mouth than a shadow appeared in the dirt road in front of me. Ah! The shadow stepped towards us and into the light. Hijikata! Oh, save Chizuru! I felt tears spring to my eyes and shoved them away with the back of my hand.
ご無事でしたか、副長。怪我もないようで何よりです。
Glad to see you safe, Commander. Doesn't even look like you were injured. Good work. Shimada was right. Hijikata was without a scratch, but even so, his expression was dark.
せめて人たち浴びせたかったんだが、途中で薩摩藩の横槍が入りやがった。
I'd hoped we'd have a real fight, but we barely started when Satsuma stuck their noses in.
薩摩藩の横槍ですか。
What were the Satsuma doing there?
奴は風間千景とか言って、薩摩の手の者だし。
Well, his name is Chikage Kazuma. Kazuma. Seems he's part of the Satsuma. Chikage Kazuma, a very skilled man with apparent ties to the Satsuma domain. His extreme strength and prowess with swords rivals that of even the best Shitsugumi swordsman. That's so hard to say. But if he's part of the Satsuma domain, didn't they help the Aizu drive off the Choshu? Why did Kazuma try to stop the Shinsengumi? I frowned. Something wasn't right. Does that mean he disobeyed orders? Kazuma, I mean.
おそらくな。薩摩の連中も扱いかねてる。
Probably. The men who broke up our fight seemed confused by whatever the hell he was up to.
だいぶ迷惑してるようだが、風間には強く言えないらしい。
In any case, they probably know they can't push him around. They stand no chance against him. So it was he didn't just one of them didn't just run away. They actually were like, okay, done. We're done fighting. And then walked away from each other. That's interesting.
なるほど。その風間とやら、薩摩の中でも相当に優遇された立場があるのでしょう。
I see. This Kazuma character must have some clout, even among the Satsuma. Maybe it's because he's powerful enough to hold off men like Okita and Hijikata, but there's something else about him that perplexes me. When Hijikata spoke next, his voice was bitter.
奴は特権の上にあぐらをかいてるだけの甘ったれだ。
He's a lazy son of a bitch with enough money or influence to do whatever the hell he feels like.
そう。誇りだなんだと言われる筋合いはね。
A bastard like him has no right to teach me what pride is all about. Before Hijikata could continue, we heard the sound of men approaching, and Nagakura appeared with the bulk of our detachment trailing behind him. Nagakura stopped for a split second when he saw Hijikata, then he creeped into a sly grin. Okay, that's a weird way to say that. Okay.
上に行って見てきたぜ。残念だが、長州の奴らは残らず切腹して果ててた。
Well, we went up to the top to have a look, but sadly, every last one of those bastards already cut themselves wide open. My heart fell as he explained. I wasn't sad that they killed themselves, or that the Shinsengumi hadn't been able to arrest them. Only that more lives had been lost.
敵ながら見事な死にされた。
Honorable suicide, eh? Good for them. As he spoke, he flashed a half smile at Nagakura. But why? Only a few hours before, he said that they were criminals and only deserved to be beheaded. But now he applauded them for taking their own lives? My question came out instinctively, as if my heart spoke for me rather than my head. He shrugged.
わからねえみてえだね。
Seems like you don't get it.
確かに新選組としてはよくねえ。奴らに目的を果たさせちまった。
As Shinsengumi, this doesn't look good on us. They succeeded in their mission, which means we failed.
だから潔さを潔しと肯定するのに敵も味方もね。
They're dead. What good would it do me to ignore what they did? Friend or enemy, a man who dies with honor deserves at least some respect. Oh, well, I suppose that makes some sense. It was obvious I didn't quite understand what he was trying to say. His expression softened a
お
little.
前ももう少し俺たちといればわかるようになるかもし
If you stay with us just a little longer, you may eventually get it. Together, once again, we return to the Imperial Estate to meet up with the rest of the Shinsengumi. On the way back, Hijikata and the men began to discuss their next move. It looked like there was still plenty for the Shinsengumi to do in Kyoto. The Choshu extremists attempted attack on the Imperial Estate eventually came to be known as the Hamaguri Rebellion. The Hamaguri Rebellion, the incident wherein the forces of the Choshu domain fought the shogunate and the Shinsengumi near Hamaguri Gate to regain power of the government after they were expelled. Although the Shinsengumi were called to action, their efforts were stymied, and they found little in the way of glory. Communication with their superiors was poor at best, and they spent much of the battle waiting with the reserves. When the Shinsengumi finally entered the battle, each man found several strange opponents awaiting him. Chikage Kazuma, who defeated Okita at Kieda, claimed to be from the Satsuma domain during his encounter with Hijikata. Kyuju Amagiri, the man who shattered Heisuke's head guard at Ikeda, also claimed membership in the Satsuma. Kyuju Amagiri, a highly skilled individual connected to the Satsuma domain. He specializes in bare-handed combat, and he possesses power and skill above many members of the Shinsengumi. They had also met Kyo Shiranui, who fought alongside men from the Choshu. A man with incredible skill, he is connected to the Choshu domain. His gunplay is very impressive, and it takes the Shinsengumi by surprise. Oh, he uses guns. He's a gunner. Whoever they were, it was clear they were not allies of the Shinsengumi. Indeed, it seemed they could easily become some of its greatest enemies. If they were to meet in open battle, the casualties would be severe. By the time the battle was over, the commanders of the Choshu attack had been killed in the fighting, or took their own lives. There were some soldiers, however, who escaped, setting Kyoto ablaze as they fled. By some terrible misfortune, winds that day blew from the north and fanned the flames, reducing the southern end of the Imperial Estate to ash. Sad face. As a result of the Choshu attack, many Imperial nationalists were executed. With the Hamaguri Rebellion over, the Choshu were branded as traitors for attacking the estate. From then on, they were acknowledged enemies of the court. Enemy of the court, a traitor to the court, often used to refer to the rebels. Chikage Kazuma's status has been released. Interesting. Okay. Sap chamber! This is a good time to stop, so that's what I'm gonna do. Thank you everybody for coming out and playing with me. I had a ton of fun, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!